Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're jumping into something really fascinating, mapping our connections through astrology. Specifically, we're talking about synastry, and we're doing this based on a whole stack of sources. You sent us articles, guides, all sorts of things, looking at what synastry is all about. So our mission today, to really unpack it, pull out the key ideas, and get a clear picture of how this tool helps us understand the way two people connect.
Yeah, and looking through all this material, it really does feel like getting a kind of blueprint, doesn't it? It's a way to see the unique energy pattern that gets created when two people, come together. It shows the smooth paths, sure, but also potentially the bumps in the road. It's a really detailed look at how individual charts interact.
Okay, a cosmic blueprint. I like that. So let's start at the beginning. Based on these sources, what is synastry fundamentally?
Right. Well, the simplest definition that comes through is that synastry is relationship astrology. It's basically comparing the natal chart, the birth charts of two individuals. Your natal chart is like that unique snapshot of the sky when you were born, your cosmic fingerprint. Synastry just lays one chart right on top of the other, see how everything lines up or doesn't.
Ah, okay. So it's about seeing how my planets and points, my energy lands in your chart, and how yours lands in mine.
Exactly. That's the core of it. The sources really emphasize it's about understanding the dynamic between the two of you. Astrologers use it to gauge compatibility, yes, but also to pinpoint potential challenges. It can show things you might not consciously pick up on, like the specific flavor of attraction or how sustainable the connection feels, even the kind of patience you might need when things get tricky. One source actually called it a kind of shortcut to being really informed about the relationship's energy.
A shortcut. Interesting. So like a high-level preview, maybe that vibe check one of the sources mentioned?
That vibe check idea captures part of it, definitely. It can give you that initial feel, and apparently it's often pretty accurate for that. But, and this is important, the sources are clear. Interpreting synastry takes skill. It needs finesse, as they put it. It's not just matching symbols. And it's always presented as just one piece of the puzzle, right? You'd ideally look at it alongside the individual charts, and maybe a composite chart too.
Right. The composite chart, we should definitely come back to that distinction later. But sticking with synastry for now, when someone looks at this overlay, what are they actually looking for? What are the building blocks?
Okay, so they're mainly looking at how the planets in one chart interact with the planets and key points in the other chart. Remember, planets represent different parts of us, different energies. Like Venus is about love, values, what we find beautiful. Mars is our drive, passion, how we go after things. Mercury is communication, how we think.
And the aspects are key, right? The angles between those planets.
Exactly. The aspects were crucial. They describe the geometric relationship between planets across the two charts, and they really tell the story of the dynamic. So you have conjunctions, planets close together. These tend to amplify and merge the energies involved. Could be great, could be intense, depends on the planets. Then you've got trines and sextiles. These are generally seen as harmonious, flowing aspects. The sources talk about them representing ease, natural understanding, supportive energy, like you just get each other in those areas.
Makes sense. The easy stuff.
Kinda, yeah. Then you have the more challenging ones, squares, oppositions, quincunxes. These often highlight areas of tension, friction, maybe where you push each other's buttons. But they're also where growth happens, right?
Yeah.
They demand attention and conscious effort action.
Okay, let's circle back to that other chart type you mentioned, the composite chart. The sources made a point of distinguishing it from synastry. What's the difference there?
That's a great question, and the distinction is pretty key. Think of it like this, drawing on how the sources explained it. Synastry is about the interaction between two distinct individuals. It's how your energy feels to me and how my energy feels to you. It's the chemistry, the sparks, the friction, the person-to-person dynamic. Okay, the chemistry. Got it.
The composite chart, though, is different. It's created by calculating the mathematical midpoint between each of your planets. So the midpoint between your sun and my sun, your moon and my moon, and so on. This creates a totally new single chart. And that chart represents the relationship itself as its own entity, like the relationship's personality and purpose.
Whoa. Okay, so synastry is the me and you vibe, and composite is the US as a unit, how it functions out in the world.
That's a really good way to put it, yeah. That captures the essence of the distinction in the material. Some astrologers feel synastry is better for understanding that initial spark, how you subjectively experience each other. The composite, they say, shows more about the relationship's actual path, its tangible reality, its overall purpose or challenges as a unit. The general feeling from the sources seemed to be that, really, you need both for the full picture. They offered different complementary perspectives. Interesting.
The vertex is another point mentioned in this context. It's often described as a point of fated encounters or turning points. So, strong vertex contacts in synastry can also suggest a meeting that feels significant, almost like it was meant to happen, pulling you together strongly.
And these ideas of fated or really intense bonds often get linked in the sources to karmic relationships. What does that mean in this context?
Right, the term karmic comes up quite a bit. Often it's associated with challenging aspects involving Saturn, planet of lessons, karma, structure, think squares, oppositions, conjunctions to personal planets or the nodes. Also strong Pluto aspects.
Yeah.
Pluto rules transformation, power, intensity, subconscious stuff. Or Neptune aspects. Neptune can be about soul connections, but also illusion or confusion. And placements in the 12th house, the house often linked to karma, past lives, and the unconscious. The way these sources describe karmic relationships, well, they sound incredibly magnetic and intense, often bringing up major life lessons, sometimes difficult ones. There might be this undeniable pull, but also maybe power struggles or feeling restricted or like you're working through some old patterns together. The sources suggest they aren't always easy and maybe not always meant to last forever in their initial form. Their purpose might be more about learning and balancing something from the past. You might see dynamics like love-hate or communication blocks that force you both to look deeper.
That sounds potentially heavy. So if a synastry reading shows a lot of those tough aspects or these karmic indicators, does that mean the relationship is basically doomed?
No, absolutely not. And this is maybe the most important takeaway from all the sources. They are really, really clear on this. Challenging aspects, karmic ties. They do not automatically mean failure or constant struggle. Not at all. What comes through again and again is the power of awareness, just knowing where those potential friction points are or understanding the deeper lesson embedded in a dynamic, that knowledge itself can change everything.
Okay, so it's less crystal ball prediction, more like getting a roadmap of the emotional or energetic terrain you're navigating together.
Exactly. That's the perfect analogy. Synastry gives you the map. It shows you the sunny meadows where things flow easily, and it shows you the rocky paths or the steep climbs that will require more effort. Knowing you have, say, a Mars-Moon square, which the sources suggest can lead to emotional arguments, well, it doesn't mean you're destined to fight. It means you're aware of that tendency.
Right.
So you can choose to communicate differently, be more mindful of each other's sensitivities in that area. Or if there's a heavy Saturn aspect, you need to consciously work on balancing responsibility with freedom or structure with spontaneity. The sources consistently emphasize that how it actually plays out depends hugely on the individuals involved, your maturity levels, your willingness to grow, to communicate, to work on yourselves and the relationship. Even current life events shown by transits matter. The synastry shows the potential pattern, but you choose how to live it. Awareness empowers you to navigate those challenges consciously, maybe even turn them into strengths. So, just to recap, we've really dug into synastry today. We've looked at how it compares two birth charts, the significance of planets, those crucial aspects, and the house overlays adding specific context. And we touched on those deeper layers, like the nodes and potential karmic connections, all based on the materials provided.
Yeah, and we've seen it's this really insightful tool for understanding the dynamics, the good, the challenging, the complex between any two people, really, not just romance, but friendships, family too.
Definitely. But I think the core message, the thread running through all of it, is ultimately about empowerment. It gives you insight, yes, but it always points back to the people involved, your awareness, your choices, your willingness to engage consciously with the relationship's energy.
So thinking about all this, what's the real deep dive here? Maybe it's not just about understanding the chart itself, but reflecting on how that understanding can inspire you, how it can encourage you to approach your own important connections with more awareness, more intention, especially when you hit those inevitable bumps in the road. It's about how you choose to walk that path together. Definitely something to think about.